Welcome from the break. I am Sneža, the coach of Team Quartett Mobile, and my team is super excited to show what we've done, so let's jump right into the trailer.
Ho, ho, ho! Let's deliver some presents. But first, where's my car? Oh, there it is. I'll be right back. No way! The presents got stolen! This year, let's deliver the presents with the Christmas workflow. The navigation makes it so much easier. Yes, I love flashing lights. Sure, my wife always wants to know where I am. Oh, did I forget to lock my car again? Thank God I've got this app.
Welcome again from my side. Hope you enjoyed the trailer. I'll start now with giving you a quick overview about our problem statement. So let's just start with the functional requirements. So first of all, we have these functional requirements that we classify as basic car functionality. So this includes locking and unlocking the car, flashing the lights, getting its location. Then we also have a functional requirement to get actually user input. Like sometimes before executing a task, we go to the user, we ask, do you want me to go ahead and do this task, and then get confirmation. Lastly, we have some third-party requirements like calculating the estimated time of arrival, messaging, and navigation. But our main challenge with this project is not just implementing this basic functionality. Our main challenge is actually taking these atomic actions and creating workflows with them, exactly like the one Santa has in the trailer with the Christmas workflow. So our non-functional requirements to start with is our project is an exploration project. So what that means is that we care so much about functionality and a little bit less about the user interface. Then secure login to our application as well as secure communication within the app is quite important for us because with this app, we basically talk to a car. And it would be quite dangerous if someone else could do that too. Lastly, we are required to use Audio SDK to be able to talk to the car. So now that we've seen our requirements, let's see the objects from our problem statement and how they relate to each other. So first of all, we, as expected, have a car class, which has some car components, like log, horn, light, and nav system. So these include the basic car functionality that I mentioned before, like the lock and unlock features. And from the car, let's go back to the full analysis object model. We first of all have a workflow user. This is either the driver or another car occupant. Then we have a location class because we need the car's location as well as the user's location. We then have our workflow, which gets started, or in other words, gets triggered by the trigger class. A trigger is either something as simple as like a button tap, like start workflow button, or it's something a little bit more complicated, like a location trigger. So here, we use the composite pattern to realize the workflow concept. What that means is a workflow is either a control flow block consisting of many actions, or it's just a simple action. And what's an action? An action is either a user interaction, or it's a task. So now, let's take a look at what a task is. A task can be a car task, which gets its functionality from the car class, or it can be a third-party task, like the navigation task or the messaging task. So now that we've seen our problem analysis, Sven will take over from here and show you which subsystems are derived from this. Thank you, Sven.
Thank you, Zeynep. Okay, let's divide our analysis into a subsystem. So we have our subsystem, the connected car, which is providing all the car functionality. Furthermore, we also have a navigation subsystem. This is providing the navigation task and also the location to the whole system. But our main subsystem is the workflow builder. Here we have the car task and third-party tasks who provide the car functionality or the navigation task to the workflow. We also have a user interaction component, which is providing all the user input to the workflow. And we have a trigger, which is a standalone component and offers the different triggers to our workflow. Our last subsystem is the authenticator subsystem. This takes care of all the security in our system. So it's providing the authentication from the car to the workflow. But how does actually the whole car functionality comes in? So we have the Audi SDK, which is a huge black box provided by Quartett. It encapsulates the security for us, so it offers the login to the car and to the Audi. And furthermore, we have the main functionality, so the API calls to the car, so we can get the basic functionality of the car. And it also takes over of some problems like the error handling, retry handling, and so on. But the connection to the car actually is working a bit different. We have our app, which is talking to the Audi SDK. But behind this, we have a car gateway interface, which is actually a mock pattern. So since we are developers and do not have access to the car all the time, we develop with a mock gateway. In our case, the VireMock server. You will also see in the demo later. But in production, we have a real gateway, which then talks to a real car. But let's see the behavior of our app in this example dynamic model. So the workflow user starts the workflow with, for example, the button tap in the beginning, and then automatically the first action is triggered. In this case, we start a car route. We then trigger a car task, which again triggers the in-car nav system of the car or the VireMock server in development. And you can also see the small blue line here, which represents the Audi SDK. Now, when we drove to our destination and left the car, then automatically the next step of the workflow gets triggered. So now we check the log status of the car. And again, it's a car task, and we return the real log status of the car. And now we have a condition. If the car is locked, the workflow is over. But if not, we now offer the user to lock the car. So we get some user input as well. Then if the user denies, the workflow is over. But if he accepts it, our car gets locked again through the car task, the Audi SDK, to the real car. And then the workflow is over. But let's see how this looks in live action. Welcome Santa and an elf to stage.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey, Elf, can you show me the current state of my new Shortcuts app?
Oh, hey Santa. Here's the new Shortcuts app. Here you have log status, so you can see whether your car is locked or not. If you hit on the refresh button, the actual state of the car gets refreshed. And if you hit, for example, on the lock button, the app will communicate with the Audi cloud, which in turn will communicate with the car, and then the car will respond whether the action was successful or not.
That's great, but is everybody able to lock and unlock my car?
No, actually, at this point, we have everything pre-configured for you, so you're already authenticating in the app.
Perfect. But what's so smart about the smart lock workflow?
Oh, that's actually a workflow. It's a combination of actions that gets run in a predefined order. So, for example, in the past, you used to check the lock status and then lock the car or unlock the car. But now, if you hit on this button, the app will automatically refresh the lock state and then lock the car if it's unlocked.
Perfect. But are you able to deliver me some new features until the 6th of February?
Yes, actually, in future versions, you will be able to build your own workflows and start them hands-free with Siri.
Perfect. That's exactly what I need. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Santa and Alf. That was a really great demo. So to finish this up, let's take a look at our status and outlook. So what we've achieved so far is that now we can authenticate at Audi. We can call all the car features from the actual car. And we also have our first simple workflow ready, the smart lock one that you've seen in the demo. What we are currently working on is that we are evaluating whether Shortcuts is the right fit for us in terms of implementing the workflows concept. If not, what we have to do in the future is that we have to create our own workflow editor. And apart from that, in the future, we also have to come up with more complex workflows. So this is it from us. So thank you all for being here today, especially my team and our customers, Tobias and Leon. So do you have any questions for us?
First, thank you for your hard work so far and the great video. About the shortcuts and Siri integration on the last slide, I'm really interested to see how good the technology fit is here. So, do you have any preview on how much we're going to be able to do with Siri and shortcuts?
Yes, so thank you for the question first. We are in this very sprint evaluating the functionality of shortcuts, and on the pro side it would give us actually Siri integration and the workflow builder actually out of the box already. On the other hand, we would need to evaluate if maybe, for example, haptic feedback from the user is needed in order to start a workflow. So next week we're gonna clarify with you how we will go on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much.